People hear the term data center and immediately think about computers and electricity. And that's true. Data centers use a lot of electricity. But here's the part that surprises most people. They also use a lot of water. So the question is, why do they use so much water? Let's go back to the beginning and see how a data center actually works. Well then, a data center is essentially a giant building, and this enormous facility is filled with server racks. Each rack holds computers that process and store digital information. Every time you send an email, stream a movie, upload a photo, or open a website, a server in one of these data centers is doing the work behind the scenes. Now imagine thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of these servers all running at the same time. And just like your good old laptop gets pretty warm when it's working really hard, well, these servers produce a tremendous amount of heat. If the heat isn't removed, the equipment can overheat, slow down, or even shut down completely. So, cooling is one of the most important parts of operating a data center. That's where water comes in. You see, water is one of the most effective ways to move heat. That's right. It can absorb and carry heat away far better than air can. So, many data centers circulate large amount of water through their cooling system. And here's how that works. Inside the building, chill water flows through cooling coils of heat exchangers. As warm air from the servers pass over these coils, the heat transfers into the water. The water absorbs the heat and carries it away through piping systems, and now the water is hot. So, the heat has to go somewhere. That's where cooling towers come into play. In a cooling tower, warm water is sprayed across large surfaces while air moves through the tower. A small portion of that water evaporates, and evaporation removes heat extremely efficiently. The remaining water cools down and is circulated back into the system to absorb more heat from the servers. Well, it's basically a large-scale heat remover loop. But here's the key point. When water evaporates in a cooling tower, it's lost from the system. That means fresh water has to be added continuously to replace the evaporated water. Now, when you consider the massive amount of heat produced by thousands of servers running 24 hours a day, it's very easy to see why data centers can use hundreds of thousands or millions of gallons of water per day. However, most of the water in a data center cooling system is reused and continuously recirculated. In fact, only a small percentage is lost through evaporation and system maintenance, which must be replaced by makeup water. The bottom line, without cooling, the servers that power cloud computing, streaming, banking, AI, and just about everything else we do online would simply overheat. And of course, when you're moving that much water through cooling systems, piping, and towers, it becomes very important to measure the flow accurately. Well then, that's where flow meters come in. Helping facilities monitor cooling efficiencies, manage water use, and keep these massive facilities operating very safely. Well then, the next time somebody says the internet lives in the cloud, well, you might just remind them, behind that cloud is a building full of computers and a lot of water and flow meters, keeping them running safely and cool.